If you want to start a business in Australia, you will need an ABN. This is also true if your hobby is becoming a business. Today, I'm going to take you through the process of applying for an ABN. The great news, if you're applying for an ABN yourself and you do it through the government website, so that is the ABR, so it should look something like this, then it is free. So if you end up on another website that's trying to charge you, while these might still be a legitimate website, you can do it for free yourself if you go directly through the government website. Now, the first thing that you do need to know is what structure are you using for your business. So you need to have made that decision whether you're going to be a sole trader, a partnership, a trust, or a company before you apply for your ABN. If you're a sole trader, it's very simple because you already exist as a person, you already have a tax file number, so you can start that process. If you're a partnership, you may want to have a partnership agreement drawn up before you go ahead and do this, but it will just depend on how you're doing that process. But again, that process is pretty simple. If you're using a trust or a company, you will need these set up before you apply for the ABN. Depending on how you're setting these up, you may be able to apply for your ABN and tax file number as a part of the process of setting these entities up. So what I'm going to do is jump through an example here of applying for an ABN. And this video was actually recorded a few months ago as a part of my course, How to Start a Business in Australia. This course covers everything from idea generation all the way through to doing your registrations and then managing your finances. If that's something that does interest you, the link to that is in the description of this video. But let's jump over and apply for our ABN. So to get started and register your ABN and any other registrations, head over to register.business.gov.au. So you want to make sure you're on the website that looks like this because it means that you are on the official government website. So we can then either do register your business, or you can go and register for GST and other taxes, or you can register a company if you're going down the route of doing all of that yourself. But we want to start with registering our business, and we can tick what we want to register for. So if we're just looking at ABN, we can obviously do that. But if there are other things you want to do, you can go ahead and tick them. For this example, I'm just going to be going through the ABN approach. So we can go there and go to next. And we're obviously going to get a list of what information we'll need to provide. So make sure you've got all of this, because if you don't have it, you're going to run into issues and you're going to be stop-start. So we're obviously going to need contact details and names. We're going to need details of any person associated. So that's going to be if you're doing a company ABN. We're going to need the tax agent number if you're using a tax agent. We're also going to provide things such as the details of the different business activities, your tax file number potentially, and some proof of ID documents potentially. So we're going to start applying, and it's going to send us to a registration page where you need to now go and register. So I'm going to log in and show you that. Okay, so now we're on the registration page. So we're going to go through and select which type of entity we're doing. So let's just go with an individual to keep things simple. They're going to ask, will you be carrying out activities in Australia? Which obviously the answer should be yes if you're running a business. The next question they ask is, have you started or are you taking steps to start your activity? So you're going to talk about, have you started to come up with a business plan, write out estimated business profits, etc. Obviously, in your case, you should have done all those things because you're taking this course. So you obviously have the intentions to start a business, and if you've stepped through everything else we've done in the prior lessons, you have started to take steps. So hopefully your answer is yes. If you go no, I believe you won't actually be eligible for an ABN. Then they're going to ask what type of business you're doing. So for most people, it'll be in the form of a business, but do read the other options. And the website is great because you can click on any of those questions. Are you doing things that are consistent with running a business? Again, this is similar to, have you started to do your business? Because they're wanting to know, are you intending on running a business? Are you planning on making a profit, etc.? And you'll need to be doing these things to be eligible for an ABN. So if we go yes again, and we can go save and continue. So we're now asking why you need an ABN. So if you're starting a business, then it would be a new business in Australia. Maybe you've purchased an existing business because you've taken one over. But for most people, it's like going to be the new business in Australia. But again, read the other options just in case that might apply to you. Is this your first time in business? So this asks whether you've ever owned a business before. This includes the sole trader, etc. So we might go, yes, this is our first time in business. So we can continue from that. It's then going to ask you for a range of ID documents. So you're going to enter these things. They will verify these against your ATO details. I won't be able to go any further through the application because I already have an ABN, so I don't want to put my details in there. But they will then ask a few more questions about what type of activities you're doing with an ABN. Then it'll ask for some contact details, whether you want to have a tax agent number linked to it. So check with your tax agent if they have a tax agent number, if you're planning on using an accountant. You'll then put some details around the address of any additional business locations and any other authorized contacts. You'll then be able to hit apply, and you'll either get an ABN straight back at you, or you'll get a reference number. So if you get the ABN straight back at you, that's great because you're almost there ready to start your business because you now have the ABN that you require to be in business in Australia. If you have selected one of those other registration options such as business name or GST, you'll be able to do those now as well. Now that you've got your ABN, if you've decided to be a sole trader, it's important that you understand how you're actually going to pay yourself. In this upcoming video, I go through how a sole trader actually gets funds out of their business and uses them for their personal use. I hope this video has been valuable and I hope to see you over there.